have too many journals, and if you're like me and you're really into journaling, you might have the same problem. Today I wanted to talk about my journal stack, or a lot of people have started calling it a journal ecosystem, which I really like that term. I think it's fitting and feels interesting. Right now I have a lot of journals. Well, I always have a lot of journals, but right now I feel like my journal stack is not under control, and I need to figure out what journals I'm really using. Well, I'm using all of these right now except for one, but I still wanted to talk about it because it was in my original lineup for the year, and I wanted to talk about maybe why I'm not using it, why this is too many journals. But I'll start with probably my Hobonichi journals, because if you are a part of this community, you know there is something about these journals that keep us tied to them, but I'm actually trying to break away from them. I think next year my stack will only have my Hobonichi 5-year rather than a one for the year specifically or a weekly or anything. I'm just going to have the Hobonichi 5-year because it is a 5-year journal. I'm still working through it, and I also love that journal. The first journal I am going to talk about is my Hobonichi Day Free. It is in the A6 size, and I got the Day Free because I was not successful with my daily. I did a Hobonichi cousin avec, and I was not successful with that, and it was just too much. So I downsized to a smaller journal and also to the Day Free so that there isn't a page for every day. I can kind of work through however many pages I want to, with a limit of there being, I don't know how many pages, but not as many as the cousin, obviously. I'm going to open it up. Let's take a look inside. So in this journal, I love the setup of this journal. It makes me so happy. I am just so glad I set it up the way I did. I just made it very cozy, very me. I put these little paper things, these little inserts into the pockets, and I think they're so fun. It just adds some personality to the book. And I'll definitely have to use this cover again, but yeah, I'm working through this journal at the moment, and the reason why I'm not going to get another journal like this next year is because I honestly don't really care about the monthly section and the year at a glance. I realize I don't really care about those things. This literally could have just been a notebook, and I would have been fine with that. And so I just think I had this desire to use Hobonichi and be a part of that, but really it's not necessary for my journaling practice. I will still keep using this journal and hopefully finish it off by the end of the year, but it will not be joining my stack next year. But again, I love this journal. I love the cover. I love how I've decorated it. So I will keep enjoying this while I have it. The next journal I'm talking about is also Hobonichi. It is the Hobonichi 5-year. I just did a whole video about this journal, so I don't need to go too in-depth about it. But I've been loving it, adding watercolors, adding some drawings, only a little bit. But just a quick summary of my day. Not a ton of writing, just enough to highlight something and be able to look back at it later. Yeah, I am excited to keep this in my journal stack for the whole duration of this journal. So until 2028. And this is, to me, is just like the perfect memory keeper because it allows you to reflect on these days each year. And otherwise, I don't look at my journals that in depth after I've completed them. So this gives me the opportunity to kind of do that. So I think that's what this provides in my ecosystem, is a way to document memories as well as a creative outlet. And it's a fun time, you know? So moving along, those are my Hobonichis. I have collected some other journals over time. And that's the thing, is I always have like so many different journals going. Even if I want to make like my Hobonichi like an all-encompassing thing, it's like I'm always going to end up branching out into these separate little journals. And I just got to let it happen. I try not to get too crazy with it, but you know, it happens. So this one, kind of a regret. Actually, yeah, I would say it's a regret because I don't remember the last time I've used this. It is a weekly journal. It is by High Tide. I got it because I was thinking about the Hobonichi weeks, and this one was cheaper, so I was like, oh, I'll get this. And then if I really like having a weekly journal, then I can get a Hobonichi weeks next year. But I just haven't used this journal. And maybe I'll jump back in just so I can use this journal because I hate it going to waste. There's like one entry in March, and then it's like, I started in December. Well, no, I started earlier than that, I think, because it starts earlier. But I just haven't gravitated towards this journal. It's just like, I have too many for this purpose, I would say. Like, I don't need another memory keeping journal. Having a different writing journal and like commonplacing or like having specific things, like that's different. But having another like memory keeping sort of journal, I don't need that. So this was just an unnecessary journal for me, and I don't want this continuing in my journal stack. Like I said, I might go back to it because I want to like not waste this journal, but it's just not what I want in my journal stack, my journal ecosystem. So continuing on, so I've kind of created a commonplace journal in this one journal I got in London at a stationery shop. It's kind of like a newsprint, like newspaper, almost like paper, and so the pens will kind of bleed through. So it's not the best for like paper quality. Like it's mostly like a writing journal. And I just make this my messy journal, I would say. Like, it's just, it doesn't matter if the pen's a mess and I scribble on another page to get it to start working. Like, it's just whatever. And I really like that about this journal. I can do whatever in this journal. There's so much freedom. And it's kind of my outlet to write about things that I'm interested in that I might be afraid to start writing in another journal. Like, I tend to, like, compartmentalize, like, my journals, and I don't even mean to do that. Like, it just happens. I get too weird about, like, what goes in which journal. But this journal is kind of a mess. It can be whatever it wants. And I want to, like, decorate the outside. I think that'll be fun and, like, make this, like, more me. But, yeah, love this journal. I definitely want to keep playing around with this journal and have fun with it because there's so much freedom in it, and I think that allows me to be more creative, and it allows me to write whatever I want, so it gets a lot off my brain. So this is something that I'm going to keep a part of my journals, and I think one day it will be replaced in like another journal. Like I'll keep going after I finish this journal, and I think it's like considered my commonplace right now. A lot of people have been talking about the commonplace lately, and I want to incorporate more like notes in this, like how I see people do online, and take notes on like little things. But yeah, it's just no pressure. It's whatever I want it to be, and it's messy. That's the important part. It's like, doesn't matter what it looks like, what the page looks like. It's just to write down things or doodle or whatever. It's whatever. Next, I'm going to talk about my actual writing journal. It's kind of like my therapy journal. And it's got this sticker that says Homebody on the front. And it was originally started for the purpose of writing. Well, it started with writing what I was kind of going through, like the hard parts of life, and rather than just like any kind of writing. But now I'm starting to turn it into just writing in general. This is a personal journal, so I'm not going to, show too much of the pages, but it is just like full writing. There's no doodles, no color, no nothing. It's just full writing. And this is a big journal. I'm not used to working in these big journals, but I like it for this purpose. And I love this color, this yellow journal. But this journal is very important to me, and I started it like 2023, I think. And I haven't gotten that far in it because, to be honest, when I really need to journal, I don't. And so the times when I should have been journaling in this to make me feel better, I wasn't, because sometimes this is just a hard step to get to. But I'm starting to work in it more, like write in it more frequently about just any thoughts, and making this my general writing book. Things that I don't have to share with anyone. This can just be for me. And then I have 2 more journals. Yes, like I said, this is so many journals. But I'm working on all of them except for the one that I've kind of abandoned. But I'm working in all of them. I have one that is this file fax that I had never had a file fax before, and I was intrigued because some people really like the file fax. And the reason I got this was because I went into this store. It was like 75% off because they were closing, and they had file fax. And I was like, yes, if I'm going to ever try a file fax, it's going to be 75% off. So I got this red one that I thought was really nice. And I've just been using this for school mostly. Like, because I can take out the pages, it doesn't matter that, like, this is just for school. Like, I can always reuse this and just put it in different pages later on. So I love it. It's doing the job, and one day it might turn into something else, but right now it's just mostly school. And the last journal, I think this journal is so cute. It is a manifesting journal. It is by the company People I've Loved, and I've seen their journals before. My sister got one. It was like a line a day journal. And I just loved this like chunky ring with these pages. They're like handwritten font. Like, it's so cute. And this one is specifically for manifesting. I found it in Brighton and was so excited when I got it. So I've just been using this. I don't use it very often, but whenever I want to focus on intentions for something and think about something that I want in my life, I put it in this journal. And I've had manifesting journals before, and those ones I'll go back to. I just didn't bring them abroad with me. But this is the one I have right now, and I love the style of it. I love everything about it. I just fill it with stickers and have fun in it. And yeah, so that's the last journal that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I've got a lot of journals, and the thing is, like, even though I have this many, like, I want to, like, have a scrapbook on top of this. Like, I got a book to make as a scrapbook, so it's, like, kind of separate from journaling, but to me, it's, like, very much the same. But, like, yeah, this journal ecosystem is always fluctuating. It's just based on my needs for the time. Right now, this is where they are. This will definitely change. Like I said, there are things that I will be changing about this, especially for next year. I have different plans for next year for my journals, and I can't wait to show that, but that will be probably a while from now, because, we're not even halfway through the year yet. As for my top journals right now, my favorites are my writing journal, the yellow one, and the Hobonichi 5-year. Those are the ones I've been loving, and that changes all the time for me. Sometimes I'll be really into journaling in my Hobonichi day free, or I'll have a moment where I just want to, like, write in my manifesting journal. And I've had a moment where I was getting really into that commonplace journal. And it just changes, and that's the beauty of having different journals I can turn to. It always keeps me interested. There's always something I want to use in my stack. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what's your current journal stack. I would love to hear what kind of journals you have. Maybe you just have one, maybe you have 10. Who knows? I would love to know. And thank you so much for watching this video.